Today we're working on pumps and pivots, and I'm sure we'll find something else to get into. If you've never walked through a cornfield at the time of pollination, it's an interesting experience. On top of that, corn leaves are sharp, like they'll give you paper cuts, and the pollen, if you have allergies, good luck. But anyway, today we are out here gonna work on this pivot, and we have a tower that's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys can see this, but the first two towers are straight, and then it janks over, and then the rest of the towers are straight. And so what's happening is our second tower is ghost walking. The pivot's supposed to be going this way, but instead of clicking off when it's supposed to, apparently a micro switch is not working right up in the tower box, and it keeps walking this way. So we're going to get down there and replace that. But to do that, I am going to go ahead and start the pivot so I get it back in a line so that it should be going and we can get out there and fix it while the pivot's running. Because it's been several hours since that tower's moved, I don't think it's going to move right now. And so all I'm going to do is push the override. And what that's going to do is let the pivot run like normal. Like I was saying, it's going to let the rest of the pivot run like normal and kind of ignore that tower, because since it's been sitting, it's not stuck anymore. And basically I'm just going to hold this and get the pivot back in alignment, and it'll be running and we can walk out there and get the tower situated. So because of the way our pump station's set up down here, it actually has an overflow, and that's this ditch right here, and it flows out into the middle of a field and actually hits a sinkhole. So if we have water in here, it means our pivot's not running and stuff like that. I can't tell from the road or anything, but this pivot's kind of nice because when it safety's off, it shuts the water off. So I kind of have a pretty good idea something's wrong when the water's not on. But anyway, we have this ditch, and so we have this strip where we didn't plant anything, which is kind of nice. But at the same time, man, I really hope that next year we can, clean this up some more and let this ditch go away. That'd be nice. Here we are on top of the second tower, and here's our culprit. So we have our safety system and our on-off system. I tripped the safety, and so that's why I don't know if you can hear in the background the water shutting off. So the safety's tripped. So what I'm gonna get that to stay up. What I'm gonna do is replace this micro switch, because what's happening is the safety's in place and it's working good, but this one is sticking and holding on, so the pivot keeps walking the direction it's supposed to go, but then it goes too far and the safety circuit shuts it off because this micro switch keeps sticking. So I'm going to replace that guy and we will move on with life. All right, now we just got to see if it works. So it's working like it's supposed to be, but I am having a problem. The micro switch here is adjustable, and so what's happening is this pivot tower is walking too far, and so the pivot's it's crooked, and so we don't want that. So I don't have the Allen key to adjust that micro switch. It's at the pickup. So I'm gonna go ahead and, instead of walking through this stuff, I'm gonna jump in the pivot track right here, and it'll walk around and come right out at the pickup. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk over there, grab the Allen key that I need to adjust that micro switch. After about 40 minutes, I finally found the right size Allen key. So all this is doing is adjusting the point at which the micro switch activates. So I'm just going to adjust it out, get this lined up, call her quits. The adjustment's done. I removed the screwdriver from the safety, and the pivot will start up here in just a minute. And basically we'll let the pivot start up, we'll let these towers move, and we'll get it perfectly aligned. That way it's not crooked here at the second tower. All right, we are pretty dang straight. And now we can go ahead, jump in that pivot track like I talked about, walk around to the pickup, and head on to the next job. Okay, we are at the pump station on the home farm. You can see this pump looks shiny and new, and that's because it is. This is the pump that got redone. It burned up earlier this week. I went ahead and put it on there last night, but I didn't have the perfect size gasket for the bottom mounting flange. And what's happening is it's not sealing really good, and it's sucking air, so it's not pumping really good. So what I'm gonna do is unbolt the bottom flange, jack the pump up just enough where I can slide in the proper gasket, line the bolts up, bolt it back together, and hopefully it doesn't suck air anymore and it pumps a lot better, because it's not pumping very good right now. Snugged up, so I'm just going to turn the valve on and let some water pump in there and see. Still not sealing up very good. I wonder what's going on. I'm gonna mess around for a minute and see if I can get it better. All right, I believe we have it working now. I'm pretty sure there was some air in the system. It had to just get its way out. So I'm gonna head down, we're gonna get a pivot started, and then we got some more water to move. So this is the pivot that I worked on and worked on the other day. So I'll show you what was wrong. So we have our forward and our reverse contactor, and then this is a little connection bar that carries the power across the top, and there's one on the bottom as well. That one had, on both the top and the bottom, had a pin behind the clamp, and so it wasn't getting full voltage. And since it wasn't getting full voltage, it was, how do I say this? It was overheating, and so there's overheat modules in the box, or overheat switches to keep stuff from overheating, basically. And basically they kicked off, and so the pivot wouldn't move, and it's as simple as that. So once I got the power figured out here, I went down and reset the overheats. It was fine. I do have a couple of plug sprinklers we're gonna fix real quick. And yeah, for some reason this percent timer, it turns itself down. Don't ask me, I don't know. I don't have an answer. Oh, got a couple of sprinklers here that are plugged, and these ones have kind of been a problem. And you can see there's a strip on both spots, and that's because they've been a problem. Here they are. This guy here. All right, that guy's good. Let's see if we can. I guess it wasn't this one that was the problem, it was that one. It was plugged, and corn was, it was plugged too many times. It burned the corn up. So that's my fault, that's on me. But we'll do better next year. Hopefully we have filters and stuff next year. Okay, I plugged a couple more right down the way, but the pressure is still not what it should be. So one of the pumps, which I know which one it is not pumping. It's one of the 20 horses. It either gets airlocked or something, or there could be something, there literally could be something stuck in it, but I don't think that's it, because last night when I put that other pump on, the new one, I switched around some, I shut the water off for a minute, and then it just would never restart. It was too big of a draw. And now it'll start, but it won't pump any water. So, you know, it's like something's either stuck and not letting it pump water, or yeah, I don't know. I gotta try to figure that out. But this pivot started. Basically the only thing that's suffering is the end gun. The sprinklers are all gonna be within their range to work. Actually, they're in a better range to work than usual right now. But I'm gonna stop at the pump station again before I go move water, see if I can figure it out.